Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to 8.1.6 Paths for Exploration. Today we're going to do Supercharge, Bobbin Weave and Weapon Tesseract Path. Now first of all, the Scytalis VFX issues are fixed, so now we can see the trap, so that's good news. And the node is going to be Serpent Edge, more on her later in the video. The path nodes are going to be Weapon, Tesseract Crystal, Unarmed Special 2 and Disarm Well Time Block, and also Supercharge and Bobbin Weave there as well. So mostly go with your Mystic Champion, so with some big specials so you can deal with the power gain and throw your SP2s, because most of the defenders are either have auto block or some sort of furies or some sort of buff, so Mystic Champions will look good. Otherwise you can also go with auto block counters, that includes your Magneto, that includes your Hercules, Shang-Chi, all of them work here. So let's jump into the path guys, but before you do, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notifications. All of that really helps me out a lot and helps me grow the channel. Now the first fight is going to be against an Heimdall. I would highly suggest you to keep him to an SP1 only. His SP2 can be really annoying to deal with. So the way this works is whenever you will do a parry, if the weapon node is active, it will be deactivated for 20 seconds, and if you throw an SP2 in between, it will do extra damage. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm gonna slowly build up to my SP2, and if you notice, there is a red icon for the weapon on the second line of the buffs right now, and I'm waiting for it to become green, because as soon as it becomes green, it's ready to be disarmed again right there, and then SP2 right away with extra 800% damage. So that's how the whole node is going to work. You build up to your SP2 and you keep in mind you take care of the auto blocks, and also there's Bobbin Weave. So if you get hit in the block, you are going to take critical damage. So to avoid that, you can either intercept, or the easier way is you can just dex back. So the way this one works is you dex back, you parry and use your build up to an SP2, and once you have an SP2 you wait for the red phase to go away, and the green phase where it says Tesseract Crystal activated, you can use a parry and then you can throw your SP2 and they will get extra damage. So remember, weapon nodes have three phases. One is the ready phase, second is the grayed out cooldown disabled phase, and then the third one is armed phase, but for those 10 seconds it cannot be disarmed. So make sure you know those: the green, the cooldown, gray and the red phase. So I hope this helps out, and I'll see you on the next fight. The next fight is going to be against a M.O.D.O.K, who's a metal champion, so I brought in my trusty Magneto. You can bring in other champions as well. This is a good place to get a Corvus Charger, and with Proxima Midnight Synergy you can get True Strike, so you don't have to worry about the auto block at all. And Angela can also work here because she has ability accuracy against auto block charges. You can use Hercules with SP1 also. You can also use Mole here, so plenty of different options that can work. What I tried to do is to build up to an SP2 with at least 10 charges on my Magneto for prowess, and then just hold my heavy, build up to as much as I can and throw my SP2. Now I will make sure that the defender is disarmed from his Tesseract node and before I throw right there. The next defender is going to be a Medusa with all her furies and her auto blocks. Now you can choose to use Mystic Champions here. You can also use a Corvus, or you can use your Mole, or another good one is going to be Hercules or Angela, any champions that reduce the ability accuracy of auto block. So again, it's a slow fight. You build up to your SP2 nice and slow and easy, and once you have that, you wait for the node to be activated. Right now it's on cooldown, and now it goes into a red phase where it is armed but you cannot deactivate it yet. So you have to wait that out, and then you can parry and throw your SP2. So that's how this nodes work. So it's a little annoying, it will prolong the fight, but that is the best way to bring the champions down. Build up to your SP2, look for the node. Once it's in green active phase, then you parry, and that will disarm the opponent, and then you throw your SP2 and that will do 200% extra damage. Next up there is going to be a Darkhawk. Now he's also a metal champion, so I'm gonna just use my Magneto. I'm gonna ignore all the nodes, build up to an SP3 and throw that and kill him off. Shorter fight with Magneto, but you can use other champions as well. Now Darkhawk is a robot champion, so if you want you can bring in King Groot or you can bring in Nebula as well. Just have 5 charges of shock on her and you will reduce ability accuracy by 100% on Hawk. Also, Angela works really well. You don't have to knock a Darkhawk down. You can just stand and deliver. If you have Corvus and you got the charge from M.O.D.O.K, this is also a good place to get a charge. And you can imagine the SP2 damage when you disarm the node and then you throw an SP2. So already there is so much of a critical hit. Imagine multiply by 800%. So that would be a huge critical that would be thrown across to kill him. Also, Corvus also a really great option. Next on the list of annoying defenders on this path is going to be the Overseer. Now, Overseer on himself is not really that bad, but his mechanic of auto block right after a special and you go stun immune, that can throw you off. So I would say try to bring one champion that can deal with that. For me, it was Moleman. I brought Moleman especially for Overseer because he can get really annoying to deal with. So yeah, anybody like Falcon can work, Nick Fury can work. Angela can work, so try to have one champion that can take care of him and has big special too. So for example, Moonman has a huge special too. You'll see the amount of damage I can do. I'm just waiting for the auto block to go away right there, and I'm gonna build to an SP2 again right there. And look at that SP2 damage. Because the weapon node Tesseract was already down 800% extra damage, he went down to 30%. So that's how you take on this fight. It will be a slow and patient one because Overseer is quite tanky. Again, you can use 2 hits when he has that shield on him to remove the auto block, but just remember to block after that. Otherwise, if you go for 3 or 4 hits, he will retaliate and do a lot of damage to you. And if you're running willpower, he gives you enough debuffs for you to heal back up, so don't worry about that, and should be a doable fight. Next up is going to be the most annoying fight of this path, that is going to be Nova. I hate facing Novas, and I'm sure if you're doing war videos, you know that how annoying it is to face Nova. So the best the best attacker I've seen against him is going to be a Black Widow Clairvoyant. So I'm gonna use her and I'm gonna try to be on my poison mode so I can power control him as well, because his power can go out of hand very quickly, and his damage to the block is also mad because he's got some pierce damage as well. So you really need to like keep an eye on that bob and weave, and you will have to dex back every now and then to deactivate it. Once you do, with an SP2 you can power control him and do quite some damage as well. You can also switch between Black Widow's modes of bleed or incinerate, so you can either do more damage or you can heal. So just be wary about that. This fight is going to be annoying, it is going to be difficult. You will have to eat one or two specials in your face, but that's okay. You can heal back up. Other champions that work really well is going to be your neutralized champions, your Tigra, your Rinthra, also your Doom is a good option here as well, and the usual options like for example Angela. So yeah, but it's not going to be an easy fight. Just keep him to an SP1 and try to evade that. I have trouble doing that, so this fight can be at times very annoying for me, but maybe you will have an easier time with it. Let me know what champions you used, and I'll see you at the boss fight. Now back to Scytalis Boss. Now here the node is going to be Serpent's Edge, so whenever her corrupted armor will be reactivated after the trap, she will gain either a pierce buff or another buff on her, so we can easily remove that with Mystic Champions. So that's why I went with Doom. Now for phase 1, the trap is down and you can use basic attacks, heavy attacks or special attacks to trap her just like that, and then you can go in and hit her. I'm just trying to throw my specials to do maximum amount of damage. So the first phase is up to 100 HP to 81%. Now remember the traps will be placed by Scytalis with a SP1. So always wait out the SP1, and also the trap will take a very shorter time to be ready. It will take only 1.5 seconds. You wait it out, and now it says trap set. Now you can either use basic attacks or you can use your heavy attacks, or you can use special attacks uh, to get her trapped in that. And once you have an SP3, I would suggest you to throw that because that will give her good damage. Now remember that whenever you will get her into the trap, you will get a prowess. You will need the prowess for the last phase to make sure you keep that up. Otherwise, make sure you have a mutant champion on your team, so even if you don't have prowesses which can be carried over, you can still take her down with other mutant champions. Now we are in phase 2 and we have to push her to throw an SP2. So what I'm trying to do, I'm using 4 hit combos and block, so when she comes and attacks me again, I am using an auto block. Right now she placed a trap underneath her. Now the trap time that it takes is 3.5 seconds to arm, and you can again use heavy attack and specials only. Remember phase 1 you could also use basic attacks to push her into trap. In phase 2 you can only use heavy and special, so parry and heavy is the way to go, and then again when she's trapped you can do all the damage. Again, make sure that you will get a prowess out of this, so just be wary about that. Again, it might take 1 or 2 traps or 3 traps for you to get down to 41% HP, because that's the duration for this phase. It's from 80% HP to 41. Just evade the SP2 right there, wait for the trap. Now I'm waiting for it to arm up. Now it says trap active. Now I can throw a heavy, and there she is trapped in there again. So I hope this helps you out, guys, and you can get through this phase. I'll see you on the next one. Also, before I go, on Serpent's Edge, there are going to be some good counters that you can use here. So you can use a Doom, you can use Tigra, you can use Black Widow Clairvoyant, you can use either of Venom or Venom Pool. The whole point is that you use your champions that can eat away or take away the buffs from Black Widow, so she doesn't have that extra power gain and extra pierce. So the fight is not that difficult. With the pierce, she will attack into you and do more damage, and with power gain she will keep getting specials more quickly. So this is a good way bringing these champions to counter that. Now once the phase 3 starts, the it will default back to SP1, so whenever Scytalis will throw SP1, you will notice the trap there. Now we have to wait 5.5 seconds. Now it's getting longer to get her inside for the trap to be armed to get her inside it. Now I'm using my basic attacks and a heavy one. I can use a heavy attack or special attack in this phase number 3, to trap her. So what I'm gonna do here now, I'm gonna do a 4-5 hit combo and throw a heavy, and then she is trapped, and there we go. And I'm gonna throw an SP3. Doom's great in this because he will stun, and the Doom slap is part of the whole kit. So Doom slapping is amazing here. I will do my damage and I will go back in again, and I will do the same try hit to bring her down to 5%. That is going to be phase 4. So let's quickly go through the phase 3. Your traps will be placed when Black Widow Scytalis will use SP1. Once the trap is placed, you need 5.5 seconds for it to arm and be ready to ensnare someone. Once that happens, you can either ensnare Scytalis by throwing a heavy attack or a special attack. I would suggest parry and heavy would be the best way to go. And once she is in it and it's about to expire, you can throw an SP3 for extra damage. As always, you will all throughout the fight from the beginning to the end, you will gain prowesses that will come handy in phase 4. And remember, the corrupted armor reduction will be there once the trap is removed and the armor is reactivated. And finally, throughout the fight, if you use 2 medium attacks in one combo, the second one will be evaded, and there will be a beam from Black Widow Scytalis. If you block it, you get power. If she blocks it, she gets power, so you can use that to push her to an SP2 as well. Now for the last phase, it's the most long and the most annoying one with the least amount of HP. Now the only HP remaining on Black Widow Scytalis will be 5%, and you can kill her off now. Now here, the traps is placed when she uses an SP2, so I have to push her to an SP2. I will use a 5-hit combo with a heavy at the end and just wait for her to come in. And once she is an SP2, when she throws it, the trap will take 7.5 seconds to activate. So that is a long time, considering in section 1 of the fight it took only 1.5 seconds, section 2 3.5, section 3 5.5, and now in section 4 7.5. Now look at that. And also you can only use your specials now to trap her in the you can only use your specials now just like that to trap her in the snare. Now once you do that, every special that you use, it will consume 1 promise from your side and reduce the potency of the corrupted armor. When you start the phase, the potency on the corrupted armor is 100%, and you cannot do any damage to Black Widow Scytalis. So this is all about your special attacks. Build up your special attacks, push her to an SP2, let her throw that ensnare, let it arm in 7.5 seconds, and use your special attacks for on her and push her to be trapped in the ensnare, and you should be able to get this fight done. Now and again, it's not the most difficult fights, but the phase 4 is pretty annoying as well. You can also bring in somebody like Guillotine 2099. She totally skips the phase 5, so I hope that is still working. I'm not sure, but hey, I'm happy that the traps are working now. The game is back to again visually fun now. You can play with this one really nicely. So I will do the other videos, other parts as well, and then we'll do like a giant video with all the nodes for Black Widow Scytalis. So stay tuned to the channel, guys, and make sure to check out the playlist on 8.1 and some other videos that I've done. Just go onto the playlist and you will find all of 8.1, and I will be doing the remaining parts as well for all of 8.1. That is going to be 36 parts. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notifications. All of that really helps me out a lot and helps me grow the channel. And apart from that, guys, I hope you all have an amazing day and I'll see you next time. Bye.